Nintendo has just released the most expensive game in its history. But instead of excitement, it's leaving fans scratching their heads. Mario Kart World was supposed to be the crown jewel of the Switch 2, a game that would show off why this console is worth buying on day one. Instead, what we got feels strange, incomplete, and at times frustrating. Today, we're breaking down exactly what went wrong, what still works, and why this new Mario Kart might be Nintendo's riskiest move yet. Section 1. The hype and the price. Every Nintendo console launch is defined by that one killer app, the game that proves the system's worth. For the N64, it was Mario 64. For the Wii, it was Twilight Princess. For the Switch, it was Breath of the Wild. So when Mario Kart World arrived as the Switch 2's flagship title, expectations couldn't have been higher. After all, Nintendo poured more money into this game than any other project in its history. Fans imagined bigger tracks, deeper customization, endless replay value, the ultimate karting experience. But price tags don't always equal quality. Section 2. First impression. Booting up the game for the first time feels magical. The new soundtrack hits you right away. Remixed classics and fresh beats that fit perfectly. The opening tracks sparkle with Nintendo polish. And the attention to detail is undeniable. Shortcut routes, waterfalls you can boost through, even rails you can grind for hidden speed. At first glance, it feels like Nintendo nailed it. But then, the cracks start to show. The fun pacing of a Mario Kart match, quick, chaotic, and endlessly replayable, is buried under a new structure that slows everything down. Section 3. The Grand Prix problem. Traditionally, Mario Kart is simple. 4 races, your points add up, and the top racer walks away with the trophy. Tight, fast, and endlessly addictive. But in Mario Kart World, Nintendo ripped up that formula. Now, after finishing each race, you don't jump straight into the next one. Instead, you're forced to drive across an open-world overworld map to reach the next track. On paper, it sounds ambitious, blending exploration with racing. In practice, it feels like filler. These driving segments are long, flat, and mostly uneventful. So you go from a desert to a stadium, or from a mountain to a city, but the road itself rarely excites. They're wide, straight highways with the occasional Goomba or random obstacle thrown in. Instead of feeling like part of the adventure, these sections slow the game's rhythm to a crawl. Section 4, Knockout Mode. Nintendo clearly believed in this overworld concept because they built a brand new mode around it, Knockout Races. Here's how it works. Racers are gradually eliminated every stretch until only one player remains. It's like a battle royale on wheels. Sounds thrilling, right? The problem is that this mode only uses those overworld segments, the least exciting part of the game. Wide empty highways, repetitive landscapes, and no tight corners, or crazy jump. It feels more like a road trip than a competition. Knockout had potential, but by anchoring it to the weakest part of the game, Nintendo wasted what could have been a standout feature. Section 5. What's missing? Beyond the pacing, the sheer lack of content compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is shocking. That game had 96 tracks. This one, around 30. Yes, the new tracks are massive in scale and beautifully designed, but numbers matter in a game built on variety. After a few hours, the repetition sets in. Then there's the speed issue. No 200cc. One of the most beloved challenges in Mario Kart history is simply gone. No explanation, no replacement, and don't get me started on costumes. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you could swap Yoshi's colors or change your Mii's outfits freely. In Mario Kart World, many of those customization options have vanished without reason. It makes the biggest Nintendo game ever feel smaller than its predecessor. Section 6. Unlocking and customization issues. Unlocking content has always been one of the joys of Mario Kart. New characters, carts, and gliders. Here, it's a mess. Every costume is now considered a separate character. Want Biker Waluigi? That's not an outfit. That's its own slot. Sombrero Waluigi. Another slot. Instead of feeling like variety, it feels bloated and clumsy. And how do you unlock these? By driving past random to-go bag icons scattered along overworld roads. Collect one, and you might get a new costume. It's random, it's grindy, and it feels more like a mobile game mechanic than a polished Nintendo system. Worse still, customization has been gutted. You no longer choose your wheels, your glider, your kart setup. You just pick a car, and that's it. The strategic tinkering that made previous entries addictive is gone. Section 7, the open world mode. Nintendo doubled down on the open world idea by adding a completely optional free roam mode. You can just drive around, exploring biomes and completing side challenges. It should have been fun. Instead, it feels lifeless. Challenges include things like dodging floating obstacles, bouncing across bubbles, or grinding rails within a time limit. None of it feels rewarding or engaging. It's filler content in a game that should be laser focused on racing. For many players, this mode will be tried once and never touched again. Section 8. Items and balance. Items are the soul of Mario Kart. They're the chaos factor that makes every race unpredictable. But in Mario Kart World, even this feels off. New additions like the hammer, ice flower, and coin shell sound cool, but they're easily avoided and rarely shift the tide of a race. Even the legendary blue shell, once feared by every player in first place, can sometimes be dodged with a boost, breaking the very balance that made Mario Kart fun. Instead of feeling fair but chaotic, races now feel oddly unbalanced, tilting too easily in favor of skilled players and stripping away the unpredictability. Section 9, the bigger picture. So is Mario Kart World a disaster? Not exactly. The core tracks that exist are excellent, and some of the best Nintendo has ever made. The polish is undeniable, and for casual players, there's fun to be had. But when you stack it against Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the problems become obvious. Fewer tracks, fewer options, awkward pacing, modes that don't land, a lack of customization. For a $70 plus launch title and the most expensive Nintendo project ever, it feels thin. The most generous way to view it is as a foundation, a starting point. Just like MK8 on Wii U grew over time with DLC and crossovers, maybe Mario Kart World will expand into something truly great. But as it stands today, it feels like an unfinished experiment. Conclusion: if you strip away the hype and the price tag, Mario Kart World is a decent game. Maybe a 7 out of 10. Fun for a while, but lacking the depth and variety fans expect. For the first time in decades, Nintendo launched a console with a Mario Kart that doesn't feel like an instant classic. And when you're paying for the most expensive Nintendo game ever, that's a tough pill to swallow. So, the big question is this: will Nintendo fix Mario Kart World with updates, DLC, and expansions? Or will this remain a strange misstep in one of gaming's most beloved franchises? And what do you think? Is Mario Kart World a disappointment, or do you see it as a solid base for the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's see if Nintendo listens to the fans. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We've got more deep dives into the biggest new games coming up.